cover ground and get to that point, get to the top. That's an NBA Finals special moment right there, and we're going to need more of them. His impact on the game on both ends of the court. It's a big time block. That's what he's capable of.
In the meantime, Chris Middleton went for 40. Just what did you think of kind of his takeover there as it goes from tied to you guys up late in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think you need somebody that can make those shots. He and Giannis in a pick and roll. Giannis setting great screens, and Chris, I thought he had some good looks, kind of early, and but then he just stayed with it, and credit for him. A lot of big, tough shots, and then the tough finish in transition. He was special. So a lot of good stuff from Chris, and defensively too. I think he's given us a lot on that end. So, yeah.
Tim,
you talk all the time about the work that Chris and Giannis have done over the past 8 years together to kind of build you guys to this moment. How fitting was it to you that those were the two guys that down the stretch of this game kind of pulled you guys out of the fire and kept you in the series?
Yeah, no, I think to see the conversation or the engagement between those two, and Giannis talking about what we wanted to do offensively, and a lot of it comes down to just getting Chris into a good spot and him being unselfish, and then Chris delivering. But a lot of reps, a lot of experiences together. We need that going forward.
Jim here up front.
And Mike, I guess pregame talked a little bit about Pat shooting, so he hits the corner three that puts you guys up, and then I think Devin Booker wanted that switch on Pat late, and then Pat with the contest. Could you just speak a little bit about those two plays and what they meant to?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we were able to get a stop, and I think get a push up the court. They showed a crowd, they showed extra bodies on Giannis. He made a great read, great decision. Great look by Pat. He makes it. And then defensively, his athleticism, his ability to kind of, get to a contest and, help us defensively. He's done it all year. And so, a couple big plays from Pat.
Kind of along the same lines with Drew, I would imagine this might have been one of his more frustrating games. We'll ask him that later. But to rebound and then to kind of work with Giannis to have that turnover late as well. Mental toughness there, I'm guessing, for his part to not sort of lose it there.
Yeah, no, I think, this is kind of a mental toughness win for us. I think both teams are scrapping. And, I thought Drew made several winning plays late. The steal. I thought he came up with a big defensive rebound in traffic. He came up with a big offensive rebound. So I think for him just to stick with it, the mental toughness that you mentioned, it's how he's built. He's a winner, and he made a lot of winning plays those last 3 or 4 minutes.
On your right, Sam.
But late when Devin seemed like he was almost trying to intentionally foul Drew, which would make no sense when he had 5. But I mean, did you get an explanation on how the whistle didn't blow there, and in general your thoughts on Devin's night?
Yeah, I guess I'll go the first one. I think, there was just a little bit of a mix-up. I think they called the foul a little bit earlier on somebody other than Booker. So I think there was a little bit of confusion, just in general, both, the players and I think Booker just went to the bench, thought he had fouled out, and the foul was on somebody else. There's a little bit of, like I said, confusion, mix-up, not that big a deal. I don't know. Was there 7-10 seconds left? So I thought it was pretty late. But anyways, as far as Booker's night, he's hitting, contested, tough shots. I think we just got to keep making him work for everything. Maybe we were able to get a couple stops late, but he's a heck of a player. Bounce back game from him, which is exactly what we expected. We just got to keep making him work for everything he gets.
Ben?
Hey, but it seems like we're at this point where both teams know what each other is running. There's a lot of familiarity, and it's going to come down to basically who makes the best plays outside of the framework of the offense or defense. Is that what you see now that it's kind of in this gridlock stage?
Yeah, I mean, there's the familiarity is certainly there. They do a lot of Really, good stuff offensively, creative. Monty does a great job. Their players. So I think, you still got to be on point. There's got to be a mental focus. But then, at the end of the day, you got to find a way to get the 50-50 balls, the rebounds. We got to have great spacing. We got to be in attack mode. So I think both teams are familiar, but they still got to execute down the stretch. You got to make plays down the stretch. It's going to be that kind of series, it feels like.
Jeff towards the center.
Mike, 33 field goal attempts for Chris tonight. What was happening offensively for you guys, and then maybe defensively on the other end that allowed him to, take so many shots? And did you notice early that was going to be the kind of game that was needed? 33 attempts from him.
No, on the early part, I did think that, he got a couple good looks. We in general got a couple good looks. It's always, you feel like you want to convert those. And then he just got, he stuck with it. Again, I think, both Drew and Giannis, and really even Tuck and Pat, finding ways to get him and get him late, set screens for him. So I didn't feel it early, but, as the game went on, and I thought Giannis found him on some kickouts, some offensive rebounds. It's just a variety of ways he gets to 33 shots and 40 points. But late, obviously the ball was in his hands a ton.
Go to Mara on Zoom.
Question from David Aldridge over Zoom.
But it seemed like maybe you were going with Teague a little bit more tonight. Did you like what he was able to do in terms of picking CP up 94 feet? It looked like on multiple possessions, and maybe that has a cumulative effect over 48 minutes.
Yeah, no, I think Jeff has been good for us, and as a group, we're trying to just make things difficult on both Paul and Booker, and Jeff's been a part of that. His minutes I think have been really good, and he can play with Drew. Drew can play off the ball. So I think the more guys we can throw at them, you need every little bit you can, defensively to continue to make it, hard and difficult on these guys.
You have one more on Zoom?
We'll go over to Davide.
Hey, Coach, going back to Chris, what do you think makes him an all-star and a player capable of being decisive in a game, in a finals game?
I mean, there's so many things, Chris, to be, playing at the level he is and, delivering for his teammates. It's a long laundry list, but I think the care factor is off the charts. He wants to win. He's obviously a great shooter, great passer, playmaker. I think he makes, winning plays on the defensive end. He's just, he's an all-around good player. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach. Players, we're looking at Giannis, Middleton, Holiday.
You good?
Yes.
Can you just take me through the block?
Well, just hustle play. I thought I'm going to get dunked on, to be honest with you. But, going down the stretch, just do whatever, it takes to win the game. Just put yourself in a position that can win the game. And, I saw the play coming. I saw that Chris Paul was throwing the lob. So I'm just going to jump vertical, towards the rim. Hopefully I can, be there in time. And I was there in time and was able to get a good block and go down, get to a point. So it was a great hustle play.
It felt like a strange angle. Like it was one of those spots where the toss just kind of came out of nowhere. Did it surprise you at all?
No. It didn't surprise me. Like I saw it coming. Like I knew once I saw him putting on his one hand, he was too far for a layup. So I knew he was throwing the lob, and I committed so much. And you kind of like heuristic. You kind of feel it. I felt him like rolling and to the rim behind me. So I knew the only chance to get a stop is just jump towards the rim and try to cover that angle for him to score.
And Aiden is so strong. So you legitimately thought as he went up he was gonna dunk it?
Yeah, I was late. Like usually a play like that, it's if I was in the opposite side, it's a dunk, But as I said, like I didn't jump to block the ball. I jumped towards the rim. I feel like that's what kind of helped me, put me in position to get the block because I jumped. The rim was right here, so I jumped right here. So he could like shoot the ball. If he shot the ball to the backboard, it'd probably be a goaltending, But he tried to dunk it, so I was right there earlier than him.
Malika in the back.
Giannis, Chris had some big performances last round, but for most of them you were watching. Tonight you got to be out there with him. What did you see from him, and what was that like?
It was great. He was being aggressive, and I kept communicating to him that there was things that we could do that to get him wide open, to get him to the elbow jump shot, to get him turning the corner. Because usually they're like helping a lot when he's turning the corner, but he was. That's what he does down the stretch. We want him to have the ball. We want him to be the decision maker. We know he's going to take big shots. He's going to make big shots. And tonight he was incredible.
Jim, here up front.
Hey, yes. But you mentioned a hustle play on your end. I guess can you speak to Pat's defense on Devin, where there was a switch late and Devin tried to end up having a contested jumper. Drew gets the that rebound, gets an offensive rebound at the other end. It seemed like hustle, mental toughness, big part of those last few minutes for those guys.
For sure. For everybody that was on the floor. We gotta know, what kind of game this is. We knew that the last 3 minutes we gotta, get stops. Take possession at a time and just make it as tough as possible for them. We knew that Devin Booker gonna have the ball, Chris Paul gonna have the ball, and we just wanted to make them make a play. Make them make a tough play, maybe drive to the hoop, have a contested layup or a contested two. So I think those two guys did a great job. Drew did a great job. Pat did a great job, and we need them to keep doing that.
You talked about trust for those guys, especially Pat on offense. Is that an example of trust on defense where I don't know if there's an instinct or a desire to maybe want to go help or help too much, but it seemed like that was just, okay, Pat, this is your assignment, and try to make it tough.
Yeah, it's okay. He can, and Pat and Drew and PJ, they can guard, and there's gonna be times that as bigs, me, Brooke, Bobby, we gotta read, when we're gonna help, and sometimes we overhelp, that we don't have to, but this time they have to guard. They have to like sit down and move their feet and contest shots and send the guys to the crowd and send the guys to the bigs, and I feel like they've been doing a great job. But as we gotta keep doing this together. They gotta keep guarding. We gotta keep helping, and moving forward, we gotta keep doing this.
Rachel?
Giannis, in the fourth quarter when they're up.
Yeah, I can't see. Oh, he's in the corner. Okay.
Yeah, he's in there. In the fourth quarter when they were up 7, and if you go down 3-1, going back there, that's significant. What was going through your mind?
How about do you want it? How about do you really want it? And just leave the game, swinging, kind of mentality. Try to be aggressive, try to get stops. Try to set screens, like do everything physically possible to put yourself in a position to win this game. And I think everybody was feeling that, and that's what we did. It wasn't a pretty game, but was able to keeping on composure, keep calming. We had wide open shots that we missed that we usually make, but going down the stretch, we kept believing in ourselves. We kept executing. We kept setting screens. We kept getting stopped. We kept running. We kept rebounding the ball. We kept blocking shots. So we wanted this bad, and the team showed it tonight. But we gotta keep getting better. Gotta keep getting better. We gotta keep taking steps forward and keep playing good basketball.
Tim up front.
Get into quite the same places and be quite as aggressive as you were tonight offensively. Did they do anything different, or was it something you were seeing that was different? What changed?
No, I think I just got to be more aggressive. I got to be more aggressive. I got to keep going downhill more, and keep enjoying the game more. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And you and Chris have both talked a lot about the fact that over the past 8 years, you guys have kind of built this thing into what it is and built yourselves into the players that you are. How did it feel to be able to close out a game like this with him, with the way you two played down the stretch to kind of get this thing done and keep you guys in the series?
Feels good. Feels good. We've done this a lot of times. And there's times that going down the stretch, I gotta trust, and he gotta trust me. And as I said, we've done it. We've done so many. We've closed so many games, and we've lost a lot of games. But like closing a game like this in the NBA Finals, like obviously it means a lot, and if it felt good, and but we cannot be satisfied. We got to keep enjoying the game, keep playing good basketball, and but to answer your question, it felt good doing that with him down the stretch.
Lori, right here.
I also wanted to ask you about Chris. I know it doesn't surprise you that he had 10 clutch points because you know him so well, but how happy are you for him? He doesn't flex. He doesn't put anything on himself. He doesn't even dunk. So the fact that, did you say anything to him, or just how happy are you for him?
I'm proud. I'm very proud. But as I said, it comes down to trust. Like I trust him. Win or lose, I'm okay with it. Like usually, like when you're going down the stretch, like game like this, so whatever game you play, you want to take it upon yourself, and win or lose, you're like, okay, I took the shots. I lost the game, I won the game. But like it comes down to like trust. I trust that guy right there, Drew. I trust Chris. I know they're gonna make the right play, and I know they're gonna deliver the ball when I'm open. And but like what he did tonight was incredible. We need him to keep doing it, and we within reach of our goals, and hopefully we can keep enjoying the game, and keep playing good basketball, keep having building winning habits that we build all year, keep trusting our winning habits, and keep making winning plays, and hopefully we can put ourselves in a position to win.
Sam, on your right.
Giannis, you've had plenty of big moments, but you got about 70 seconds left in that game. You finish that block and you make the choice to flex and look in the crowd a little bit. Just what's the feeling, especially after the entire night of grinding to get where you guys were?
Oh man, it was a tough game. It wasn't a pretty game, but we grinded through. They played really good. They played really good. You got to give them credit. But like as I said, like 3 minutes before, in the timeout, in my head, I'm like, you got to keep making plays. Like right now, it's like, how bad do you want it? If they go up 3-1, it's a whole different ball game, And I feel like it was just emotions. There's sometimes block a shot around the other way, but I think there was so much emotions into me, and I tried to like enjoy that moment, and there's sometimes that you have a block, have a three, whatever, you just run down the other. But like for me, the way I play, the way I want to play moving forward, I want to like enjoy every single moment, and that was a moment that I felt like our team was turning around, and we were getting the momentum, and Chris was hitting big shots, and it felt good. So yeah, to answer your question, it felt good, and the way we were playing felt good at the time.
Right here in the center.
Giannis, this was the second game in a row you went out early in the first quarter. I'm just curious what was going on there.
I wanted to, how you guys say it politely, I wanted to take a tinkle. A tinkle? Yeah, yeah. I wanted to take a tinkle, it came back. Yeah. That's it. That's polite, right? Tinkle is polite, yeah. Both games. I wanted to take a tinkle, went back.
Last question, Jeff.
We should probably just end right there. Another Chris question. He's such a easygoing, seemingly quiet even on the court. And so when did you learn he had such a competitive nature? How did you learn it? What were the signs that showed you there was some fire inside?
Okay, throughout the years, throughout the whole journey with him, I kind of, figured it out. We've played so many games together, but there was a specific time. I think it was in the playoffs against Toronto back here that we played at home. I don't want to say the whole story what happened, but like he wasn't feeling great, and but he played the game and he gave everything to for the team and for us, and that's when I realized I'm like, yeah, this is the guy that I want to be aligned with, and I want to go through the journey with, so that was, as I said, throughout the journey there was a lot of moments, but that was a specific moment that I was like, yeah, that's that dude, that's the dude that I want to build a legacy with, and be with him, just be a part of his own journey, and he can be a part of my journey, and do this together.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Eric on the front on your right. Hey, Jim. You guys have been able to force Chris Paul into a lot of turnovers in the last couple games. You had a big one late. Just what have you seen against him? And I guess kind of what have you seen on that play that you were able to get that steal against him late?
I mean, I think it's just making him uncomfortable. Always keeping bodies by him, 2 and 3 people, and not really just getting a clear view of what he wants to do. So it's not me by myself. It's definitely a team effort.
And then I guess just you would have been on the weak side of that Giannis block. Just what did you see on that play?
That's elite. It's an elite block. To be able to read that he's going to throw the lob and go up there and get it, that's it's elite.
He said he knew as soon as Booker turned his hand like this that it was going to be an alley-oop. Like, when did you kind of recognize that, like, oh, they're going to throw us over the top?
I mean, it was about the same time, but what could I do about it? 8 and 7 feet, So, again, Giannis is athletic, but I just think his IQ for the game and to be able to read that, and especially the point in the game that it was in, just makes it a very elite block.
Logan.
Drew, there was a play from Chris down the stretch where he hits a layup going into a timeout, and the entire team just goes and picks him up. What does that say about how you guys feel about Chris, and what was your reaction to his game tonight?
I think as a team we're pretty close. It's kind of the next man up, help that person. So anytime anybody goes down, and Giannis gets banged up a lot, so we're running to his aid as well. But Chris making that play, man, is huge. And then the way that he played, the whole game, but in particular down the stretch is, I mean, the reason why we play and the reason why we have K Mid on our team. Him and Giannis are the finishers, and they took us home tonight.
About him to have a game like this during to have a game like this in the finals in a swing game like that. What does that say about him?
K Mid doing what he do. He's had it at every stage this whole playoffs. So not a surprise, no, but great.
Vince?
Devin had 5 fouls. You were on a fast break. It looked like he wrapped you up with both hands. What did you experience, and were you surprised that there wasn't a whistle?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Jim?
Drew, I mean, overall, how tough was it for you to just kind of stay in the moment, I guess, late and play defense the way you did, knock free throws down at the end with you don't know what's going on with some calls, the shot's not going in, you know what I mean? Like, was it, did you kind of have to dial in there a little bit?
Nah, I know my game is more than just scoring. It's part of the reason that they brought me here. I can get into the paint, facilitate, make plays that way, and then I can make plays on the defensive end. So I just feel like my game is not just one-sided, but I've always stayed locked in, even if my shot's not falling. I always try to be aggressive offensively, but in particular defensively, where we know that Chris Paul can go off at any time. So really just staying on high alert when he gets the ball.
Bud said earlier, those last few minutes in the game in general was a mental toughness game. And Giannis mentioned hustle with his block. I mean, you had those couple rebounds, Pat's defense late on Devin.
And big shots.
Yeah.
Pat had some big shots, too.
Can you speak a little bit about, I guess, those final minutes where it's maybe not – there's a few points, but there were a lot of those sort of other hustle type.
Right. I just think, for one, being consistent, and our team we give each other confidence. Even me not shooting well, always telling me to shoot it, always telling me to be aggressive. But we always know that the person next to us has our back. So I think when it comes to those points and that time in the game, whatever you do with confidence. And you do it thinking that you're going to make that play.
Mara, over to you on Zoom.
Question from Mark Schwartz on Zoom.
Drew, there's been a little bit of a Batman Robin conversation regarding Giannis and Chris Middleton, but you really kind of put it well during the conference finals when you said that Chris is the heart of the team and Giannis is the soul. What did you mean by that, and how did that play out in the way the game played out tonight, including Giannis's block and Chris's great run?
I mean, it means what it means. They've been here the longest. They've been through the most together. They've endured the most. They've been criticized for everything that they've done here, and they've also got the glory. But they know the pressures that come with that, and they've exceeded all those expectations. So I think for them to be able to perform on each stage, and especially this stage like this, is awesome to see, and I'm blessed to be a part of it. But yeah, they give us confidence as a team, and they carry us just like they did tonight.
Next question from David Aldridge.
Drew, it seemed like you all made a concerted effort to pick CP3 up 94 feet. I mean, Teague was turning him multiple times when he was in there. You were doing it as well. And I know he's a great player and he's gonna make plays, but do you feel like that has a cumulative effect over 48 minutes?
I hope so. I'm tired. I really do hope so. That's kind of the point of us doing it, right? I think to be able to not give Chris just some easy baskets, easy view of the game. We know that he can control the game and just kind of put it in the palm of his hand. But I think being able to have his back turned most of the game, always thinking that me or Teague are going to be there, I think it can be frustrating. So and then doing it 94 feet for 48 minutes, it can be a bit tiring. And so yeah, I think we've been doing a pretty good job of it.
Thank you.
Question from Davide.
Hey, Drew, going back to Chris, when did you realize he's so as good as making the difference in Game 4 of the finals?
I think he's always had it. Chris has no fear, and he never has. Being one of the guys who's guarded him in my career, knowing what he's done, hitting big shots, making big plays, he's never been afraid of the moment. So putting him in this situation is kind of perfect.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Pat and Chris are coming up together. First question, Logan, in the middle.
This question is for Chris. Chris, you've played alongside Giannis in this team, and while you've been doing that, your game has been dissected, sometimes maligned, but you've had great postseason performances. Do you think playing a game like this on this stage at this time of the series, do you feel like a weight is off your shoulder at all?
No, not necessarily. I mean, not perfect. I feel like I've had a great career so far. Every year I feel like I advance my game, and as an organization, we take a step forward most of these years that I've been here. As far as the other stuff, I really don't care about. With myself, with this organization, it's all about taking a step each day in the right direction.
Giannis talked about how much he trusts you, and you saw the play after you got the layup, how everybody just kind of came onto you and picked you up. What is it like to have that trust of your teammates? Does that help you kind of block out any outside noise that you get because you have the backing of your team?
For sure. I mean, my teammates, first, my coaches, then everybody else in the organization, their opinion matters to me the most. I'm sorry, but I don't care what you guys write or what you guys think, whether it's good or bad. But for my teammates to have the confidence in me, trust in me, that's the most important of all.
Eric, on your right.
I'll ask both of you, but we'll start with Pat. Just what are you thinking as Giannis goes up for that block? I think you're over by Crowder, kind of trailing the play.
Yeah, I was on Crowder, the guy who was pulling up after the pick and roll. I was right around the elbow at the time. And the honest thought that was going through my head was more or less kind of like shock and awe. I think, when the block happened, I kind of looked like, and luckily PJ came across the lane and grabbed the rebound because I forgot for a split second to go grab it. I kind of said it's, in my opinion, the best block of all time. Obviously we're a little biased, and you can talk about the LeBron block as well. But as far as a block where he was covering the pick and roll, he had to judge where the pass was, where Ayton was catching it and trying to dunk it above the box. It's about as impressive as you can get.
You were far side, I believe.
Yeah.
What was your vantage point?
Kind of the same thing to him. Probably say excuse my language, but it was one of those oh shit moments. 2 times, like, oh man, like we gave up a layup. Then next thing you know, he's blocking it. It was a great effort. Didn't give up on the play when it seemed like they had an open layup or a dunk. And, that's what we need in this finals. Everybody get those extra effort. And, he came through for us big on that play.
Chris, for you, obviously, all of your teammates that have been up here have talked about how much they trust you. Pat had missed 2 threes at the start of the fourth quarter, and then he steps into a big one and manages to hit it. Just what are you thinking as you see Pat line up another one and have that open shot?
That's what we want him to do. That's what he's out there for. He's hit many big shots for us throughout the season, throughout this playoff run. Like I said, he's out there for a reason. If he has an opening to shoot and he's wide open, he's got to shoot it. Whether it's make or miss, it's just going to keep the defense honest, for one. then two, he's a great shooter.
Tim?
Chris, as you obviously went on that 10-0 run in the final couple minutes there, you had to get picked up off the ground because you clearly were out of gas after that layup. But what kind of allowed you to summon the energy needed to make those plays in that moment there?
Everybody's tired. Everybody's banged up. Just got to give it your all, leave it all on the court. We could rest and sleep and get treatment after the game, but while that game is being played, there's no excuses of exhaustion or something's hurt. If you're hurt, you just can't be out there. But that's all. Give it your all.
And what exactly is it about this building that you thrive so much in it? And I mean, even next door, you weren't quite the same player as you've been since you've gotten here.
Just the energy. I've been playing in this, building for 2 years now. A lot of shots. Guess I got to get some extra shots in Phoenix and whatnot. But just got to find a way to knock down shots on the road. I mean, it's been tough for me all, postseason long. Just got to find a way.
Brian, over here on the left.
Chris, it seemed like earlier in that fourth quarter, you guys were just kind of hanging there a little bit. They opened a little bit of a lead. Was there a point where it sort of changed and you said, okay, I can win this for us now? We're there?
No, I mean, they hit a three to start off the fourth quarter, but I think for a majority of the game, we had a lot of great looks. We missed them, a lot of layups, a lot of open threes. You just hope at some point they're going to fall, but at the same time, you have to get stops, and that's the main thing. That fourth quarter, we were able to get stops when we needed to.
Lori, right here.
I hate to oversimplify it, but your team was shooting 38%. Did you feel like you just needed to take over at that point in those final 2 minutes? And then secondly, we don't talk enough about your free throw shooting and how clutch it is. How much work do you put into that, or is that just something that's been so automatic for you for so long it's effortless?
As far as free throws, I mean, it's just a routine thing. We do free throw shooting games after practice every day. I shoot free throws for my pregame routine. It's just, a routine thing for me. As far as the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter, we just ran sets that, enabled me to get to my spots. And after that, I just got to make reads, whether it's to shoot, whether to find an open guy, Giannis on the roll. It's just reading the defense at that point. Just luckily, thankfully, I hit some shots.
Jim up front.
Hey, Pat. Late when you switch over onto Devin, in late game situations like that, is there any thought of, time on the clock, score, maybe they're hunting for that matchup to a degree the way he's playing? And so I guess you kind of speak to that and maybe walk us through how you ended up with that contest and the miss.
Yeah, I mean, I have confidence in my athleticism. I think I can defend at a high level. I think sometimes they are looking for a matchup, and I think sometimes it's, it's like a pride thing, right? I think he got me once on a pump fake that I can't fall for, giving him 3 points at the free throw line. We've talked about it, and I got to be better in that situation. He's also a terrific player. So he made a few shots on me earlier in the game, sometime in the third quarter, I believe. But they were tough. They were contested shots. And at the end of the day, that's my job. It's to keep him in front, be physical, try to make sure that, I'm matching his physicality and making sure he's not, backing down or getting free. And if he's got to make a tough contested shot, that's what he's going to have to do in order to, put them in a position to try to win the game. And that's all I thought at the end of the game was he wasn't going to get by me, and I was going to be physical enough so that it kind of threw him off when he did have to take the jump shot.
Bud said this was a mental toughness kind of victory in a lot of ways, and a lot of hustle plays late. Giannis's block, Drew's rebounding, some defense there. Either of you can answer this, I guess. Is that, would you say that was accurate in terms of just having to kind of dig into something a little bit in the final few minutes?
It's a grind. A lot of playoff games, especially when it comes late in the fourth quarter, it's a grind. Just got to find a way to get it, get loose balls, get rebounds, figure out a way to get stops against great players. That's how I can really say about it. It's a grind.
Jeff, towards the back.
For both of you, same topic. Chris, do you know how many shots you attempted tonight? A playoff career high 33. When did you realize that was going to be that kind of night for you to take that many shots? And then for you, Pat, when did you start to notice it was a Chris Middleton night?
I don't count shots. I mean, I just try to let the game come to me. If the shot's there, I got to take it no matter what. No matter how many times I shoot, no matter how many times I miss. That's just the way I play the game. I don't realize any really stats or shots or points really until the end of the game.
I think it's always a Chris Middleton kind of night. I mean, at the end of the day, he makes the right plays. Tonight, it called for him to be more aggressive with a jump shot, but he's always going to be aggressive. He finds the right guys. He finds the open man if they double him, if they try to blitz him. He's the guy that we want to have the ball at the end of the game, and we have great leadership. Chris, Giannis, Drew, no matter what's happening during the game, we all trust their leadership and their ability to make the right play, and whether that's shooting, passing, playmaking, defending, whatever it might be. Tonight was one of those nights that, Chris took over, and it's great. We're happy to have him on our side as opposed to anything else. And I'm just thrilled that, he's been able to kind of show the world it, because we see it every single day.
Mara on Zoom.
Question from Spencer over here on Zoom.
Spencer Davies, basketballnews.com. Hey, Chris, obviously it's tough to keep Ayton off the glass when he's going up there and getting those rebounds. But even at the beginning of the fourth, when you guys were trailing, when guys to your left like Pat and PJ and Bobby are going up and gang rebounding and taking those opportunities away and fighting for those boards, what does that do for you guys as a team, just energy-wise, and maybe giving you guys some momentum?
Just gives us a chance. When we go small, that's one of the biggest emphasis that we talk about in our timeouts and our huddles is that we got to find a way to block out, pit bodies on their guys crashing, especially Aiden. He's a beast down there. He finds a way to get tips on balls, to tip them out to teammates, to grab them and give them extra possessions, extra threes. So when guys Pat, Tuck, like you said, when everybody comes in and puts a body on him and, helps rebound, it just allows us to play faster.
We'll go to Mark Schwartz next on Zoom.
Pat, this is for you. You conceded earlier that you may be biased, but I think it's really a good time for you to break down which is the greatest block of all time. LeBron's chase down or what Giannis did tonight, and why?
I would look at the criteria of greatest block of all time based off difficulty of the block and then, time and score. I think obviously, LeBron's time and score probably has the edge in that situation because of when it was and helped them, literally win a championship that game. But I think the difference between the time and score difference and then the difficulty of the block difference gives the edge to Giannis just because, chase down block, you got a little bit more of an ability to read, and obviously it's a great block. We're talking about two of the best blocks of all time, so I don't want to discredit that block. But like I said, Giannis was guarding the pick and roll. I mean, he was guarding the pick and roll. That's a play that, they've done time and time again. Book threw a great pass. He threw it high and away from any defender, and Giannis was able to recover. I mean, he's defensive player of the year, two-time MVP for a reason, and I think it's those types of plays, to be able to read where Ayton is, where the ball is, and have the athleticism to get that high and get literally all of the basketball is why I would give the edge to him.
Last two questions in here, Lori and then Eric.
Chris, your personality is always interesting. When we hear you on Zoom, we have to turn up the volume, and I think you've always hated the limelight, and now I think you're bringing every teammate you can to a joint press conference. Is it truly you just hate it, or you want to share it, or you're trying to deflect a little bit? I mean, it's the finals. This is your moment.
It's hard to explain, really. I mean, the teammate thing is just a timing thing. I guess I tell guys to wait on me.
I was hoping he was going to have to answer every question.
But as far as just, the limelight, whatever, I really don't care about it too much. I just like doing my thing, being around my teammates. Like I said earlier, the credit I get from my teammates or the opinion, how do I say this? Whatever my teammates think of me, that's what means the most. I love to talk to them, hang out with them some. As far as, being all over the place, being on magazines, commercials, getting interviewed all the time, that's just not me. I like staying low-key, staying out the way. That's just who I am.
Eric, last question on the right.
One more for you, Chris. So for you, you're up 4. You're going to the free throw line. You guys have just gotten to stop, and then all of a sudden you feel 7 foot, 240 pounds just hug you on the way. Like, what are you thinking other than like, man, I'm tired, let me shoot this free throw?
Nah, I mean, just love those moments. I mean, I know how much he put into that game. He knew how much I put into the game. We knew how much everybody put into that game, and it seemed like the game was over. There for a minute, but nobody caved. We stayed with it. We grinded out a couple of possessions, and we found a way to win a ball game. That's something that we struggle with sometimes during the season, but we said, that's what it's all about: learning how to win different type of ball games, different styles, and then that's what that moment was about: finding a way to win a game where it seemed like we weren't going to win and give us a chance to still, have a life. Going to Phoenix with a little bit of confidence, with a little bit of momentum.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.